So, September 29th, 2015, Syed Rizwan Farouk and Tashfeen Malik are long-time American residents. They burst into Farouk's place of employment and they murder 14 people and seriously injure 22 others in San Bernardino, California. And shockwaves of confusion and horror and panic ripple out from this event, and people are trying to figure out what's happening. And terrorism is this initial suspicion, but they can't really confirm it quite yet. And as investigators comb through their lives, they find more and more hints of or actual symptoms and signs of involvement with radical Islamic terrorist organizations, networks, ideologies. And so people start getting more and more scared that there's this network of homegrown terrorists living in America and striking today. And so the comb to find the pertinent information becomes really frantic. And so at one point they find Farouk's phone. It's an iPhone. And it has a 6-digit passcode on it. And the FBI can't break the passcode. And he stopped uploading his information to the iCloud, so the only way we can find out who he's been contacting in the past month is on the iPhone. But they can't get past the code, so they ask Apple to help. And the thing is, Apple can't undo the encryption on the phone, because that's just how their iPhones work. And the thing is, the FBI asked Apple to make a software that circumvents their own encryption. And Apple refused. And there's a lot of controversy about this. But I think Apple did the right thing. Because if we build a backdoor for this huge encryption service, it's going to be really dangerous for a lot of people. So, like I said, Apple was asked to make this backdoor software, and the reason why that's so dangerous is that millions of people use this encryption software to run their businesses from, to live their lives on. I mean, I have an iPhone, both my parents have an iPhone, and how the Apple encryption works is every single iPhone, when it's shipped out from the factory, has a unique encryption on it. And if Apple were to unlock the encryption on one phone, unfortunately it would be a key that would unlock every other iPhone. So, or anything that runs iOS 9. So it's very dangerous. And the thing is, we've seen how the government reacts to a lot of power, especially when it comes to our private lives. Whistleblowers like Edward Snowden have revealed that the NSA specifically violated our constitutional rights to privacy and has this giant dragnet on our personal and consumer information that's totally unconstitutional. So we can't actually trust them with this kind of power. Like, they've revealed to us that they're not very trustworthy. But the other thing about this key existing out there in the world is that not only can we not really trust our government to have it, but even if our government has it and they are trustworthy, it's really dangerous, because anybody that's smart enough to get past federal security can access this key, and then they can access any Apple iOS 9 device. So it's very, very dangerous, and there's a lot of companies and people that would be in peril if that kind of information was released. And if the federal government has it, it's only really a matter of time before someone would be able to get it, hack it out. So the thing is, creating these backdoors is actually really short-sighted and dangerous for the American people. And encryption is incredibly important. It's what allows us to have services like Google and Amazon and Facebook, and it gives us privacy in the digital age. It's really the front of privacy, and without it, we would really be out of luck. So we should really be more protective of it. And if we create this precedent that, the federal government only needs it this one time, I don't think that's how it works. If you create this precedent, it will become easier and easier for the federal government to ask for this kind of breach of privacy potentially into our lives, and it'll get easier and easier for them to do it. And although that sounds like a slippery slope, I don't think it is. I think it's a pretty real possibility. So we should not allow the software to be built. However, a lot of people that are unaware of how dangerous this backdoor software can be really disapprove of it, because it sounds like if you say, don't let the FBI get in this terrorist's phone and potentially stop other homegrown terrorists, that sounds like an obstruction of justice and it sounds dangerous. However, like here's somebody that reflects that viewpoint. Donald Trump is quoted as saying, "To think that Apple won't allow us to get into her cell phone, who do they think we are?" No, we have to open it up. So there's a lot of people that think that it should just be open to the public. But like I said, it feels like an obstruction of justice, and that we should be putting pressure on Apple to force this phone open so we could stop terrorism. But the thing is, I think there's a lot of nefarious, not so scrupulous people that would really love it if we put pressure on Apple to create a backdoor. Hackers would love it. That would be a great opportunity for them to be able to hack any Apple device, potentially. Maybe even other terrorists would love it, because they have hackers too. And people that want to invade your privacy, great for them. So I think that with every attempt that the government makes to kind of fight decryption or fight encryption and make it easier to access our private lives, we actually endanger ourselves in a much, much bigger way than I think any of us could ever really understand. So we should allow Apple to not have to build the software, and we should understand why. Thank you.